I've been selling.
Oh, this. Everyone's warning me about this song. Dude, it doesn't end. I didn't like a single part of that song. I thought it was just shitcore. Just completely annoying for the sake of it. I did not fuck with that. Wait. I just saw. Wait. I just saw who sent this in. This is the numbers guy. It says, "Hi, Brad. I'm just sending in the newest #1 song on the Billboard Hot 100." This is 33 million views in 13 days. A political country song by newcomer Oliver Anthony, despite the artist never charting before. This is huge attention. Due to the huge attention this got on social media, was just enough to push it straight to #1.
My soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away. It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, knows the rich men. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, north the rich men. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
Allow me to play devil's advocate for a second here, as I'm confused. Maybe it's my numbness to this shit from "Try that here in a small town," But why was this latched in onto so heavily? I mean, yeah, the second verse had some bullshit to it, but I feel like everything around it was just very, guy just upset because he works for no pay. It's not the worst thing, but it's not good in my opinion. I'm just wondering why this was controversial enough to get 33 million views in 13 days. Fantano made a video going into detail. Consider me interested. I mean, I'm not the most, educated person in this sphere. And, probably, I don't know. I'm not saying Anthony is like a mastermind of all this shit, but gonna probably know more than I do.
Would probably just say is an unknown.
Everyone. I'm just curious, so.
Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. Let's talk about the right wing's new favorite country song. Comes from an artist named Oliver Anthony, somebody who a year ago, most music publications would probably just say is an unknown singer-songwriter. He hails from Virginia, a town called Farmville, for that matter. Guy recently released a track named Richmond North of Richmond, and this song has been going mega viral, not just among the sort of psychotic, bigoted, weirdo, conservative influencers that, typically will platform dudes like Tom McDonald whenever they see him in a music video jumping on a tank to be like, yeah, America is awesome, yeah. Even though he's like a Canadian grifter, but I digress. No, this track has been going super viral just about everywhere. This isn't just some kind of weird Trump rap that has no impact or influence on anything, and idiots who don't understand how the music industry works are freaking out because, oh my god, it's #1 on iTunes. Nobody buys music on iTunes anymore. It's like bragging about being the most popular product sold in a store that nobody goes to. But no, this Oliver Anthony song has been getting exposure well beyond that, doing slightly bigger numbers than some mainstream artists get on new singles and music videos, and also spreading pretty far and wide on streaming platforms too. I was going to do a reaction to the track, but honestly, the performance is pretty straightforward, pretty dry. It's just some acoustic guitar, some vocals. The singing isn't the greatest I've ever heard, but it is good. And the playing isn't really what I'm trying to critique or pull apart here anyway. I figured this video might go down better or might make more sense if I just kind of go over the lyrics of the song and try to dissect what it's getting at exactly, because that sort of seems to be the heart of why it's resonating with so many people. All right, let's start in on these lyrics and see what exactly Oliver Anthony is getting at. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit here and waste my life, drag back home, and drown my troubles away. Which is not a bad sentiment to express on any song, really. Just kind of sounds like struggles personally with depression, working class woes, not being paid enough. Moving into the pre-chorus, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me and people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is. The way he's kind of inviting the audience into the song to relate with what he's going through, it almost has, like a Woody Guthrie type quality to it. It's very, I'm breaking the fourth wall and communicating directly with you. That's one of the powerful and significant hallmarks of folk music generally. As far as the writing and the messaging goes so far, Oliver Anthony is making really good use of these tropes, these themes, these mechanisms by which, old world singer-songwriters would try to give perspective to average everyday listeners and also validate their experiences too. Moving into the chorus here, living in the new world with an old soul, these rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think, want to know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, because your dollar ain't shit and it's taxed to no end because these rich men north of Richmond. Okay, now this is interesting right here. This is interesting framing and lyricism because he's putting some very old and ignorant tropes down in a way that is super subtle, artfully subtle, to the point where I think most people wouldn't pick up on it or would be able to
I mean, that's literally where I'm at. That's my exact thing is I don't know what the fuck's going on. Then again, I kind of shun everything that's going on in the world away, so I'm able to focus on work, so that I don't have a mental crisis. So, you know.
Like, write off accusations of like whatever the mindset, perspective, or political leanings of this track are. Again, at this point, given the words he's chosen to write this song with, I think a lot of people would just say, well, yeah, he's just singing about working class struggle for
That's what I thought.
Country music fans. He's just getting down on their level. That's all he's doing. But like, pay attention to the line that the title is named after. He's drawing lines there, not just class lines, as he's framing himself and everybody else listening to and relating to the song as poor and your average person, working class. Mind you, this guy like lives on 90 acres from what I understand, but that's neither here nor there, or maybe it is, whatever. But more specifically, he's drawing a geographical line here as well, between North and South, using Richmond, Virginia as that dividing line. With that, you can't ignore
Okay. Now I see why it's a problem. All right. All right. Well, that explains a little bit better. Yeah, Eureka, exactly. Oh, man, hold on. Oh, God. So it's actual... Yeah, what it's... But it's like... Someone mentioned the Civil War before, right? Oh, no. Oh, no, dude. Oh, Jesus. Just pause. I'm taking this in. Wow. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, dude. You're too European to understand this? Yeah, so a long time ago, the North and South of North America, not North America, why am I so stupid? The United States of America is split, okay? The United States of America is split during the Civil War because one of the sides was shit, man. It was pro-slavery and anti-slavery, right? There was, amongst other things, other frustrations. North of Richmond, I guess, is the line of separation. Essentially, man, that's so bad. He could just be talking about CEOs in Wall Street or just politicians. Yeah, that's what I thought at first, but like it's very specific, and now I'm kind of picking up why it's a problem. Bro's teaching grade school history. Indeed.
Or the elephant in the room, he's like bringing up old, bitter North-South ideological disconnections that go back to the Civil War era. Drawing this North-South line and claiming that, it's those people from the North that want to control us and tell us what to do. There's a lot of really bad and toxic and often bigoted political baggage that comes with, that North v South binary. And also on top of it, it literally has nothing to do with the economic struggles that he's singing about in the first portion of the song. Rich men north of Richmond are not the sole reason that you're struggling economically. It's the exploitative and solely profit-driven market system we currently live under, which is hurting everyone all over the country, regardless of what side of the Mason-Dixon line you land on. Okay, let's move on to the second verse here, because I hear that's where things start to get a little spicy. I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere. While in the abstract, this is not a bad thing to bring up, often when the rubber hits the road, the people who are the loudest on this topic seem to turn a blind eye when some of their favorite figures kind of get caught with their hand in the cookie jar. So that's an interesting line that's kind of at war with itself in a way. Also, the next one, because Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Him whining about obese people milking welfare, one of the oldest right-wing cries of wolf that there ever was, which is just a feigned concern over money being wasted. Oh, that's just wasteful. You're just throwing money down the toilet, feeding these people who are fat.
Feeding these lazy, good for nothing.
When, like, if you want to talk about excess spending and waste in this country, monetarily speaking, fat people on welfare is like toward the bottom rung.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. It just seems like a very petty and empty thing to attack. I mean, yeah, that if you want to talk about just like a random, I guess you could say like right-wing talking point to just throw in there, then there you go. Wasn't the guy in the video fat though? I think that people saying this is just like a really weird rebuttal. It just comes off as like a like it just looks bad to say that like at all. I don't know. I don't like framing it that way in the slightest.
A much larger portion of our overall budget as a country goes toward defense spending, goes toward wars, goes toward places like the Pentagon throwing cash left and right with no accountability whatsoever.
Fat people, Twitch boy, please, for the love of God, can you say something that isn't like the most degenerate comment ever for once?
And also our healthcare system, which, mind you, we pay more for that per capita than any country that actually has a socialized healthcare system. That is all waste. That is all your tax dollars going down the drain. That is literally the government burning your money in your face. Going deeper here, well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bag.
It's probably closed the queue.
Yeah.
This thing, I didn't even know about this song.
Yeah.
It went mega viral.
Sure did.
And I'm watching Fantano explain. I didn't get it until like he explained the Richmond line, and I was like, oh.
Richmond,
Yep. The split the divide. Bad. Mackie, hi. Come say hi, buddy. Yeah. Oh, Mackie, say hi, buddy. Look at how cute you are. Yeah. Little puffy boy. The only dog whistling I like is that dog right there, right?
I think, like, the guy's got a great voice.
Yeah, no, I mean the song itself, like musically speaking, you know, wasn't anything crazy.
But and like it's like I feel like at some points he's onto something with like the, you know, like things are hard for you right now, but then it's like the enemy is
The North.
yeah, like he's got the wrong like it's like, oh, he's kind of like getting to something, but then he completely like misses.
Yeah, it just goes. It's like, yeah, okay.
You're like, oh yeah.
It's like
or there's like class issues and stuff like that. Oh, it's
yeah, the obese milk and welfare stuff.
It's fudge rounds. It's fat people's fault and poor people's fault. You know?
Bag of fudge rounds. Honestly, there's more than enough money in the US budget to buy everyone enough fudge rounds to the point where we'll just all die and go into a diabetic coma, which comparatively would be money better spent than on another unnecessary invasion, a bunch of military bases that do essentially nothing, or I don't know, just putting that money into the pockets of price gouging big pharma CEO assholes. So to put it clearly, if your worry right now for your average person in this country is how far their dollar goes, how much money they're making, and you're thinking about like, where does that come from? Where does that problem originate? What is the solution? And your head first goes to fat people on welfare.
Hold on. I gotta unpin the queue. All right.
Bro, your priorities are fucked, because the issues and the problems you're talking about would still persist even if there wasn't a single person who was fat and on welfare. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Which, again, I don't think this is a bad sentiment to convey, but I think Oliver Anthony has the wrong target in his sights when it comes to like what is creating that inequity and what is creating that lack of opportunity. It's not fat people eating sweet treats that may have been paid for with EBT. Finishing things up with the chorus, and yeah, he's singing about how, you know, these rich men north of Richmond, they want all that total control. The irony is not lost on me that the origins of, you know, these bad north-south relations draw back to the want for control and ownership of literal human beings. But yeah, reading through this, I'm not really surprised to see this track popping off with the groups of people that it is, because again, it's really kind of drawing back to the same old story, the same old bullshit of North versus South, but it's just putting it in a slightly subtler package. And some of you may be watching this video reacting, thinking, you know, Anthony, why are you covering this? It's just like a right-wing country song. There's a million of them. But I think it's worth exploring and talking about the fact that the right-wingification of country music has long been a political project that dates back to the Nixon administration. It's not just a post 9/11 thing, as some Zoomers and younger millennials seem to think. And because the genre has been completely and utterly co-opted and corrupted, stuff.
Do you think it's possible he's referencing Washington, D.C.? Here's the thing, though, is the wording is so bad if that's the case. Like, because the entire thing is the rich men of Richmond, right? Like north of Richmond, and it's just like a very broad area and a very specific, I don't know, man. It's kind of like original intent at that point would kind of be washed away, I feel like.
Like what Oliver Anthony is singing here is very well received, as we are seeing from the views and the virality of this track. And sadly, for a moment, while there was a part of me that was really excited to, you know, see some of these more underground and alternative country artists coming up and gaining a bigger voice in the internet age, what I think we're kind of, you know, witnessing now is that the internet is also platforming some of the also fringe, but not quite as fringe as, you know, Adeem the artist, but some of the fringe right-wing factions and elements of the genre. And that's how you're getting tracks like this and Zmij Aldine's, you know, small town track popping off. You know, because as terrible and as stereotypical and as garbage as stuff like Florida Georgia Line is, for example, you know, they know at the very least to stay away from rhetoric like this. They're not coming on to talk about like, you know, north-south relations or anything like that. Last thing I'll say is, look, at the end of the day, I don't think Oliver Anthony and a lot of the people identifying with this track are inherently bad people. And it's not like the struggles that they're singing about or giving a voice to are completely invalid or not real. Much of the time they are real, and the fact that we're not addressing them as a country is part of what causes so much social rot in the US. The issue is these problems are being highlighted, and then the blame gets laid onto different alternative and completely unrelated targets. You're having a hard time getting a job. The price of milk is going up. Your dollar doesn't pay for shit right now. And you know what? That's because of immigrants. That's because of people who are lazy and on welfare. It's because all of those elites up in the north, they don't like you. When in reality, if you wanted to wake up tomorrow.
Is it just for Mac or is it? All right. Suki, my black dog. Which collar is going to look best?
Oh, just...
Got that. Got the ice cream cone. All right. You got all funky patterns. Yeah, they see it. Ice cream. I see most people say ice cream. That's the one I was thinking too, anyways.
Tomorrow with better pay, better opportunities, better everything, the answer is to
Papa
protest
John's.
and get out in the street. The answer is to unionize and organize against your boss, for example, until you're getting better pay. People who are in the same economic class as you, but look differently or dress differently or are a different orientation, whatever, those people are not the reason that life sucks for you. So again, the track does lend a legit voice to some real struggles, but any kind of solution-based focus from there is just misdirected into other just non sequitur crap, which is pretty much a hallmark of right wing anything. Get mad and get afraid over stuff that doesn't really impact your life in any way. All right, that's all I'm going to say about this track. You're the best.
Try that here in a small town. You know what I'm saying? Come to a small town, Anthony, and start explaining how the North aren't entirely to blame for everything, all right? Too long didn't read right-wing populism as a song. No, like, I agree with him that there's, like, some genuine, like, pain over circumstance in the song. And I think that it's been poisoned by a thimble of piss in the punch bowl. Bad intentions. But, you know, working class, they are struggling, you know. Again, the blame is a little bit misguided. Maybe a lot bit misguided. Hey, Brad, my Greyhound's neck got super irritated from using one of those collars. Doesn't have much hair on her neck, and it gave her a bad rash. My other Greyhound was fine with it, though. Now, we've been using all these collars. We've used them, and there hasn't been any issues. But I appreciate the concern.